Hi, it's Bobby Allison, and I thank you very much for coming to the channel. I want to talk about all of these uh, claims online that I'm seeing about systems in the stock market, buying and selling stock, and how by using these tested, tried, true systems, you're going to be able to make millions of dollars. So that concerns me because as somebody has been around as long as I have, and I've played around the stock market a little bit, and I know that that's not the way it really works. And so, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but there's a lot of these gurus or they claim to be stock market gurus, and they got some really fancy ads, and they're spending literally, hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million on these ads. Okay, so I just want to kind of expose something about the business model. Logically, you got to think about it. If you had the literal knowledge of how to print money, would you sell that knowledge to somebody, for a few $100? No. So it's why would somebody want to spend? Why does somebody spend millions of dollars on ads to try to get you to buy a product that might cost between $50 and $300? Sometimes that's the medium range, the low range. It may even go higher than that. And in order, for that's what they're going to make. They're going to spend a few $1 million on Google Ads or whatever. To try to get $50 from you, $100 from you. This is not the way it is. It's they're selling you a lifestyle, trying to sell you a lifestyle that you can have that really isn't achievable. And that being said, one of the things I want to look at my notes real quick. Forgive me, but it's the focus on the flashy lifestyle. The Lambos and mansions, which they're actually renting to use in these ads. A lot of the times, I don't know all the time, but in a lot of times it is, and that's been proven. And then there's the high pressure sales. That goes along with, you got to act right away. If you don't get in on my plan now, the market's going to change and you're not going to be able to do it. So here's the thing about the market. It takes years of education, of educating yourself or getting it actually at school, and experience in order to become an accomplished buyer and selling of stock, or to understand the stock market in a way where you do hedge funds and that type of thing. This is not something you're going to learn in a weekend. It's not something you're going to learn overnight. It literally will take years. And you need to start out slow, and you need to be careful when you start out, because you can literally lose everything you have. This is the statistic. 90% of day traders who start out lose 90% of their money. Okay, it's just not a very a profitable gig when you first start out. It's something you have to learn. It's like a farm. It's like planting crops that's trees or orange trees and fruit trees and or asparagus or something like that you're not going to get a return on that planting for 3 to 6 years, and then you'll get your return. In the meantime, you need to really study and learn, and chances are that there may be some programs out there that are being advertised online that will give you significant knowledge to be able to get started. I'm not saying there's not. I'm saying that most of it, that when you see it, you need to be very skeptical about the information that you're getting, and you really need to look into it. But I can assure you, there is no such thing as a get-rich scheme in the stock market. If it sounds too good to be true, this is what my dad taught me a long, long time ago, it is not true. So please be very careful. You need to build wealth on a solid foundation, and it takes work, and you have to be willing to save. If you're not born with all this money, if it didn't come to you or you didn't, win it, you're going to have to work for it. And while you're working for it, you need to set up strategies and plans for saving your money. And the stock market can be a place where you can make investments But you're definitely going to have to pay attention to it, and that's why most people have brokers and stock market experts giving them the advice, or they're actually letting them just run the show because they've been promised guaranteed investments, and they are out there. I have those and had those in the past, and they performed the way they were supposed to perform. There were times where things happened, during the crash and the pandemic, where there's fluctuations and everything. But for the most part, for the 10 or 15 years that they were supposed to perform a certain amount, they did perform, or they performed better. So investing in the market is not a bad thing to do, but you have to be careful what you're doing. And you can definitely, botch your start and lose your startup money, and that would be so bad for you, and especially if you have a family. It's easy for younger people who haven't been around for a long, for as long as like I have and others have, or never have had experience in the stock market, to get easily brought in by all those, wonderful pictures of wealth and the power that comes with that. So please remember that these strategies, if they were actually $1 million making strategies, they wouldn't be selling the strategies. They would be living off their fats of their endeavors, and all of us, there'd be a lot more millionaires out there. So anyways, please put down in the comments what you think, and what other guru gimmicks are out there, or more stock market gimmicks. If you want to hear more about that, I can definitely get more into that. So just please be careful and do your due diligence. Have a great day. Bye-bye.